Good morning. I wanted to quickly go over disclosures. Every transaction needs an agency disclosure, a lead-based paint, and a seller's disclosure. And if you're on the selling side of the transaction, you will find these docs in your MLS on the blue toolbar under Remind Docs Plus. If you're not familiar with it, there's a lot of training on the MLS. You're going to want to utilize that. There's documents from all the local boards. It's a great resource. So right now I have an agency disclosure. It's 3 pages. When I sit down with my seller and I go over an agency disclosure, I say this isn't a contract. This is an agreement. I am disclosing to you that I'm going to represent you as your seller agent, and I usually circle seller. I continue on with saying, in the state of Michigan, I can be a buyer's agent, and if I bring you a buyer, then I become a dual agent. That's when we'll have to re-sign this form, letting both parties know I represent you in a dual capacity. But right now, today, as I'm listing your house, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, I'm your seller's agent. I can also be a transaction coordinator in Michigan. And that is where you don't really give any advice or counsel. You just kind of help move the transaction and fill out the paperwork on the client's behalf for a negotiated price. So on this form, I'm going to check that I'm a seller's agent because I'm representing the seller. And then I'm also working as a designated agent. So that means that myself is designated to your file. My entire brokerage or agency is not going to have access to all your information. And then I sign it under license, and then I would have my seller sign it and say that they do not have an agency relationship with anyone else, and that I'm representing them as the seller. And I keep that in my file. Hope you find this to be really encouraging, and stay tuned for more training and tips. Take care.